Hey, it's Brian from WinterGardenYoga, and today I'm going to show you a few tips that are going to help you with your Warrior 2. Now, I've been practicing yoga for almost 30 years, and this is something I still work on to this day because I know what it feels like when you're doing Warrior 2. Maybe it feels like you're standing on a surfboard instead of standing on solid ground. So we're going to go over a few tips today to help bring a solid foundation to your Warrior 2. Grab your yoga mat and let's do this. The first tip is check your feet. Check your feet. Because a lot of times when we're doing the Warrior 2, we have a tendency to scrunch our toes up, something like this. And if you notice, it's taking the length and the width away from your foot. So if you can get as much of your foot on the ground as possible and splay your toes out as much as possible, you're letting your feet do what they're supposed to do. That will help with stability and structure in your Warrior 2. So first things first, check your feet. After you've got your feet established, try to establish your stance. The general consensus is if you bring your hands up to a T, you want to try to get your feet as close under your wrists as possible. It's not mandatory, it's just a general guideline. Your stance may be too narrow, and that's what's making it hard for you to balance. Once you've found the appropriate stance, we'll turn this is my right leg. Right leg goes out about 90 degrees. Rear leg stays at 0 degrees. Try not to turn your rear foot out. Then we bend this front leg as much as possible. And part of this stance, in my opinion, is the relationship of your center of gravity. Your center of gravity is more or less an extension of your tailbone. So you imagine your tailbone is a pendulum and it wants to drop straight down the center right between your feet equally. If your center of gravity is slightly off to one side or behind you, it can affect your balance. So once you have your feet splayed out, flat on the ground, rooted to the ground, once you have your center of gravity, in my opinion, beneath you, hips relatively leveled off, hands out to a T, and you should be feeling pretty solid in your legs. The next thing to consider is using your larger leg muscles. So in the rear leg, focus more on the quadriceps, and on the front leg, try to focus a little more on the hamstrings. Sometimes there's too much emphasis on the knee, the shin, the feet, and we lose sight of these larger muscle groups that help control the hips. So think a little bit more about your quadriceps. Think a little bit more with your hamstrings. Let these larger muscle groups combined with your glutes, combined with your abs, help stabilize the entire pose from the ground up. Hey, and there you have it. My top tips for creating a stable, strong, balanced Warrior 2 pose. Give it a try. Let me know if it helped. Provide some feedback in the comments. That's always welcome. Be sure to like this video and please share this video with any yogis or anyone you think would benefit. Thanks.